Hello, 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 and welcome to Larger Curves today. Hey, how you guys doing? How are you doing? I'm doing good. Are you doing good? Happy Tuesday, the end of November. Do you believe that we are 31 days away from the end of 2021? Hello, we are 31 days away from the end of 2021. Can we give it up to 2021? All right. That's out of here. Yeah, 2021. Thank you for all that you've given us and all that you've taught us and all of that. And speaking of teaching, today on Larger Curves, I wanted to ask the question, does Bravo enable Blackphobia and racist tendencies? Okay, I wanted to ask that question before the year was up because I've seen a lot of things over the last 2 years that have made me as a viewer wonder these things. I'm like, where is the true, authentic diversity embracing going on over there at the Bravo? I mean, I spend a lot of my time, a lot of my free time, you guys. I spend a lot of my free time watching Bravo. And that's why I notice. And that's why I ask, because I actually do care what I ingest. And I actually do care what I support. And it's not all just entertainment. You know what I mean? We have to be mindful of, just like with food, are you always eating fast food? Well, you got to put some, nutrition in there too. And you got to work out and you got to take the right kind of vitamins and supplements, mentally, we have to do the same thing, I feel. And so I just feel like it's important to check in and reassess and, delve into the psyche of myself as a Bravo viewer, because I've been seeing a lot of suspect things going on that make me go, So that's what today's live is going to be about. And thanks again for tuning in to Larger Curves. I would love it if you smash the like button. I would love it if you smash the subscribe button. I would love it if you shared this video. I would love it if you did hit the bell and personalize it to maybe once a month or something like that, if that's a possibility. Because I don't really want to bother you. You don't have to hit the bell. You don't have to get notified every time I upload a video. But at least if you subscribe, you'll be able to see it next time you log on to the YouTube and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go on. I actually had a request to do this specific video on YouTube, and I answered the call. Okay. Let me see, where are we? So yes, home, here, channel. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so today, Larger Curves asks, does Bravo enable Blackphobia and racist tendencies? Unless somebody comes in, jumps in my comments, this isn't going to take extremely long. I'm going to go ahead and let a video play that I made recently about some information that was divulged about specifically the Real Housewives of New York and Ramona Singer and Eboni K Williams, that whole situation, to bring you up to date. In case you have no idea what I'm talking about, Bravo is a network. And on this network are the Real Housewife franchises, the Real Housewives of New York, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the Real Housewives of Potomac, and so on. Okay, so this year, 2021, after everything that happened in 2020, with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and everything, now in 2021, they had New York's franchise, Real Housewives of New York, had their first melanated goddess grace the cast, and her name was Eboni K Williams. She was a Black lawyer. She graduated law school at 24. She's freaking a genius and everything, right? So she was able to grace the cast with her melanin And now these other ladies have been on the series, no Black people, have been on the series for 14 years, 13 years, 14 and 10 years over there. And they've never had to check their anything at the door because it's always been around, obviously, like minds, is my impression. And me as a viewer didn't take as much offense to it as I could have to their racial insensitivities and their, little microaggressive comments, or whatever. I could have taken it more seriously then, prior to Eboni's arrival. However, their treatment of Eboni K Williams on the show, to me, it highlighted their, racist tendencies. I'll just say it in my opinion. Her being present highlighted their wrongness. Not saying that she brought it out, not saying that she did anything to encourage it, not saying that she masterminded, not saying that she, did anything. It was not in any way Eboni K Williams' fault, other than being present in a room full of white women who have had the luxury of saying whatever they feel like for the last 14 years because they weren't hurting anybody's feelings because everybody looked like them. Okay? So now that we have Eboni K Williams on, she was made to be the villain in a lot of ways because she's Black and because she highlighted a lot of people's favorites rather. Ramona Singer, Luann de Lesseps, they both had very wonky seasons. Heather Thomas didn't come off looking great. At the end of it, Leah came off looking like a fake ally. And the only one who even looked like she made sense was, you wouldn't believe it, drum roll please, Sonia Morgan was the wokest one in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the Sonia Morgan. So anyway, they said that the ratings tanked because Eboni kept playing the race card and bringing race up. Excuse me, being Black in a room doesn't mean you're bringing race up. Speaking about the Black experience doesn't mean you're bringing race up. As a Black person, you're just speaking about your culture. So that lends itself to my first little over the whole thing. That is a skid in my mental breaks about what just happened? Whoa, wait, rewind, right? So why is it on Bravo that Bravo allows the production of the narrative that when Black women talk about their culture, they're talking about race? However, Bravo allows the narrative that when other people are speaking about their culture, it's their culture, it's not their race. So when Tiffany Moon talks about her being Chinese and everything, they say that, oh, she's talking about her culture. When, what's the other one? Crystal over on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. When she talks about her culture, her being Chinese and making dumplings, they say, oh, she's talking about her culture. Isn't that nice? She shared her culture with us. And then you get Garcelle on there and they're like, oh, you're pulling the race card. And then Eboni gets on and they're like, oh, you're pulling the race card. So that caused me a mental break in my just dedication to viewing. It made me really stop and think, as a woman of color myself, as a melanated goddess myself, like what this lady must be going through in a room full of Karens, you guys. Anyway, so I'm gonna let this play and let me put it up and then we'll get into it. Like I said, this live isn't gonna be too long. Larger curves today. Make sure you smash that like button and smash the subscribe button. And don't forget, you don't have to worry with that bell so I don't bother you every time I upload a video. But if you're subscribed, you'll be able to check it out later. So today, I'm picking up where I left off on one of my previous stories. Well, I guess two of my previous stories, because one of my stories was Bravo and their race problem and Bravo's problem with colorism. That was one thing. And then the other thing was, remember how Real Housewives of New York did not have a reunion for the first time ever in history? And then Bravo went ahead and gave us 4 reunions for all the other housewife franchises on, trying to distract us from the fact that they had no reunion. And then, remember around October 2021, it was reported that none other than Eboni K Williams, the first melanated goddess to grace Real Housewives of New York, had launched a formal investigation against Ramona Singer, the apologizer, yes, for racist comments that she made. And then we found out also that it wasn't the first time that Ramona made these kind of comments.
Shout out to Pete.
And that was actually what made Eboni
Articles
Esquire go ahead and launch the investigation with HR, was because she's like, this is a pattern of Ramona being racist tendencies over here, right? So anyway, they did the investigation and everybody was trying to figure out what could Ramona have possibly said. And nobody said it for a really long time. And then it came out that Ramona Singer allegedly said, after Eboni K Williams was kicked out of that dinner party by Luann, and after Luann called her an angry black woman, remember? Well, she didn't use the word black. She just said, you're an angry woman, and I didn't even have to call you black. Remember she said that? Well, anyway, when she got kicked out of that party, Ramona, Luann, Sonia, and Heather were all still there. And Ramona turns to the other ladies and says, see, this is why we shouldn't have blacks on this show. Okay, now that is a comment worthy of an investigation, especially the way we see Ramona Singer act. Oh yeah, by the way, Bravo, fire Ramona. Fire Ramona. Anyway, so, and then after the investigation was completed, Bravo found no wrongdoing, just like the police be finding no wrongdoing after they do what they do that's wrong. They found no wrongdoing, and Eboni was willing to sit with that. She wasn't satisfied, but she was willing to sit with it and let the investigation's results be those. Now that it's over, remember
Prosperity, thick girl, 40 in the house. Thanks for coming by. Love it when you're here. Love your vibe.
Heather Thomas, the one that called Eboni articulate? Yeah. And was white-splaining everything at that house? Yeah. Heather Thomas? Well, I guess the investigation did not include asking Heather Thomas anything, because Heather Thomas would have corroborated Eboni K Williams' story and verified that, in fact, Ramona Singer did say, see, this is why we shouldn't have black people. And Heather Thomas said she was mortified when she found that out. And she was shocked and disgusted and all kind of other words, right? But that little use that is because she told Page 6 that Ramona said what Eboni said she said. She didn't tell Bravo and the investigators that stuff, or else maybe there would have been a different outcome than Ramona then leaving New York and going on the Ultimate Girls Trip and acting an ass over there too. Anyway, Ramona's white privilege and her racist tendencies are showing all over the place, and Bravo is an accessory to Blackphobia. Yes, they are. And Bravo is an enabler of racist tendencies, obviously, because whenever something comes up about black women specifically, it gets treated like, oh, they should just take it, and nothing ever gets done. But other races, when they have problems, that stuff gets handled. Bravo makes statements, releases public statements of support and all kind of stuff. But it's very different for the melanated black women on the Bravo franchise. So this video is to let you know that Ramona did in fact say the statement, this is why we shouldn't allow black people. And that Eboni K Williams was right for filing a complaint. Heather Thomas did not partake of the investigation, I guess, or else they would have found Ramona guilty. And I just wanted you guys to know that overall, as society, we might want to listen to Black women. We might want to listen to them and their truth of their experience in real time, because then if you have an investigation, then you might be more willing to hear the truth about the investigated. Anyway, I hope I said that right. The bottom line is Ramona has racist tendencies, and she said some racist, stupid shit, and it got caught by the other people, and Bravo did nothing, and Andy did nothing, and they are still protecting Ramona, or else they would sit her down and have her answer in front of Eboni and all the rest of the people that help with, view that show, and make her answer and take accountability for her actions over the years. Not just this last season, but this last season really, really, really highlighted it for a lot of us. So anyway, yes, it's true. Ramona Singer did say a racist statement. Eboni K Williams was well within her right to feel a kind of way about that statement. And Heather Thomas corroborated the story and has said that yes, in fact, that statement was made. And she told Page Six. So there you have it, you guys. What do you think Bravo should do? I think you should leave a comment. I think you should smash the like button, and I think you should smash the subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay. So I'm back. Here I am. Okay, so that was just my little video on what's recently happened. Let's see what Prosperity Thick Girl 40 is over here saying. I love it when you're here. Thank you for your support, Prosperity Thick Girl 40. All positive vibes. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to getting my treat. Okay. So first she said, hey, and then she said, Bravo, Andy, and a lot of their talent are racist as hell. In my opinion, that could be a true statement, Prosperity. She says, Ramona got the right Black woman on the Real Housewives of the Ultimate Girls Trip. In the Kenya Moore hair care. Hello. She certainly did, Prosperity. And then Prosperity Thick Girl 40 says, love when she threw that drink in Ramona's face, right? Sorry, Kyle, you got to be quicker than that. Bob and weave next time. Okay, that's right. Quicker, girl. Even if you thicker, be quicker, because I'm gonna make a shirt. Even when you thicker, be quicker. Because yeah, Kyle was all holding her. Did you see how they were holding each other like they were a purse of each other's? Have you ever been walking down the street as a Black person? I'm just going to go ahead and say this for anybody Black, and just in case you've experienced this and thought you were tripping. I want you to know that I too have experienced this, as well as some other people that I brought it up to. But have you ever been walking down the street as a melanated human, as a melanated person, as a melanated being, and witness like the clutch of a purse, or the, try to not be so sly, put it to the other side, or when you're crossing the street, the locking of the car doors for no apparent reason. When people used to walk around before all of this was really happening, and when you was kind of paying attention, right? Anyway, so yeah, sometimes stuff like that happens. And I guess I was triggered by seeing shows that I spend time with as entertainment. Like, I'm supposed to go there for relief. I'm going to Bravo for relief. I'm going to the Real Housewives of wherever for entertainment. It's a form of escapism. It's a form of feel good. Some people smoke, some people drink, some people watch Housewives, and some people do all three. You know what I'm saying? So, and more, it's not even limited. I want to expose my mind to like all the prisms that could be. So I'm not saying that it all has to be one way, but I am realizing in speaking about it now that I must have been triggered in a way from witnessing Eboni go through that. And that's just what they showed us. So just what they showed us was enough to trigger me as a melanated goddess experiencing life in the United States. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it, because for it to trigger me means that I have something unresolved. And if I have something unresolved, then maybe you have something unresolved, or maybe we all have something to resolve. And then there are people who would tell me, like, maybe like, okay, Larja, just, we have more in common than we do not in common. Well, then treat us like that across the board. Let's get some treatment like that across the board then. And then I won't have to be triggered by witnessing what I witness. It's always easy to tell a person that has been wronged, or, trauma is a form of being a victim, I guess. I'm going to Google it while we talk. So if trauma is a form of, let's actually look up trauma. What causes triggers? Trauma is an emotional response to a terrible event, like an accident. The R after the event, shock and denial are typical. Long-term reactions include unpredictable emotions, flashbacks, strained relationships, and even physical symptoms like headaches and nausea. So imagine, like, if just me as one viewer of all the viewers they have, and New York has never been the highest rated franchise. So whatever their views they got, they were like, by grace, being on for 14 years. And that's the other thing. Bravo, it feels like Bravo puts so much on the Melanated Goddess franchises. I don't feel like they get as much marketing. Like, I feel like they're always talking about the other franchises. And like, I feel like Potomac should be doing way better in the ratings. And I feel like, anyway, but I also feel like Bravo is not, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that Bravo is equally marketing all of these shows based on actual ratings. You know what I mean? So Atlanta was the highest for so long. And because it was the highest, you would think like they would market it a certain way. But instead, we keep getting, like, we have to deal with Erica Jane, we have to deal with Ramona Singer, we have to deal with, and all these other franchises. But anything the Melanated Goddesses do, they get in trouble like for in real time and are having to apologize. You know what I mean? Okay, case in point. I might be rambling, but I'm just like putting all the little triggers together. So remember the time Luann showed up in blackface as Diana Ross? She said she was paying homage to Diana Ross. No, it was a Halloween costume, Bia. And you put blackface on because you were not that brown when you left the house. Okay, you put bronze face on. You put too much on, Luann. Edit the R word out of this. Yeah, because YouTube is quick to strike your channel, sis. Okay. So, yeah, I definitely will. So after I was like, they're going to strike me? Wait a minute. Uh-oh. So remember when Luann did the freaking blackface, right? I could say blackface, right? And and Bravo didn't put out a public apology, and they let her do some half-old, well, if people don't like homages, then, oh, well, I'm sorry for that kind of apology. It wasn't like, it was like one of those, I'm sorry if you were upset that I did it kind of apologies. It wasn't like a real, I get it, I want to get it apology. You know what I mean? And I went and looked for it, and I looked for Bravo's statement during that, and there was none. Fast forward, Kenya Moore was just the native warrior goddess, and Portia Williams called it out that night in the confessional and everything. Remember, she was like, "We doing this really? We're not doing this." And then they made Kenya apologized and Bravo issued a statement. Like they don't support what Kenya did. You know what I mean? And if anything, Kenya is BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color, because everybody knows that the red man on the map also included BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color. So there's a lot of things going on. And those are the things that I noticed. Now let's get to these comments. Prosperity Thick 40 said, I will show always support. Oh, I am my sister's keeper. Amen. Yep. I laugh because I'm not going to jail trying to take what you got. Nah, sweet. Ain't going to be scared of me at all unless to try me or my kids, right? Exactly. And then she was giving me advice to take that R word out because they'll strike me. They'll strike me before I even get to my goals of 400 even. I don't want it. I might, oh yeah, I had to edit that. Oh, yeah, no strikes. Yeah, I don't know. So, okay. So do you feel like, am I being too sensitive? Like, is it too sensitive that, Ebony went through all of that? You know, is it? I don't think so. I think that it's okay that I'm triggered, and it's even better that I'm mentioning it because also this triggers me that when Bravo investigated alleged racism after Ebony put in a formal complaint to HR, that Ramona said, that's what the question scrolling at the bottom is the statement stating that is why we shouldn't have Blacks on the show, a Blackphobic racist remark or not? Can you leave a comment? Can you give me, if it is a racist comment, then you could put a Y or a thumbs up or okay or just yes or no. Anyway, like to me, that is a racist comment, especially after everything that had gone down prior to that. Because let the article tell it, Heather Thomas overheard the statement. See, this is why we shouldn't have Black people on the show, Singer allegedly said. But the investigation found nothing wrong with that statement. So we're going to go back up here to Prosperity's initial comment that Bravo, Andy, and a lot of their talent are racist as hell. Because how isn't that? If they try to call Black people racist for talking about their Black experience and their culture, then how is it for a person that's not your race to want to exclude you and say it out loud after they call you an angry woman, imply that you're an angry Black woman after the white girl that was there freaking just got up. Remember Leah had got up and called them all hoes. You're a hoe, you're a hoe, you're a hoe, you're a hoe, ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Oh, I could work it in. Okay. But yeah. And nobody says anything about them. And then go over. So none of that was aggressive. They don't use the term agree. They didn't have a reunion to not call it aggressive. But nonetheless, that was an aggressive statement. But then you get to the franchises over on the melanated side. And within like the Potomac thing, there was just this whole thing. They had like one of the episodes of the 4 episodes to distract us from the no episodes on New York. Somebody's really, what is this? Sorry, you guys. Okay, sorry. So, yeah, so I said I wasn't going to take too long on this topic, but I did want to point out that as it states here, this is why we shouldn't have Black people on the show. This is why we shouldn't have Blacks on the show. And I guess Black sounds a little more gritty than Black people, but either is a specific pointing out of and then wanting to exclude. She's been arguing with these ladies for 14 years. And the Black lady came and said, "Oh, I Googled it. I'm the smartest one in the room," because they were giving her snotty time. They were being snotty with her. And then they were like, "How dare you say you're smart?" Basically, as a viewer, in my opinion, that's what they said. That's what I heard. That's what I saw. Especially Luann. Oh, she was like, "I speak 80 languages and I've been all over the world and I've been with so many men and I've been with so much and I've done so many things. So we're educated in different ways. Your degrees mean nothing." Basically, that's what I heard. That's how I interpreted that scene. And that was snotty and rude. Like accolades should be accolades. Let it exist as an accolade. You could have said, "Oh, that's fantastic," and then turned around and said something like, "I have traveled all over and da 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 da." Not that it was an over thing. It was a factual statement. Okay. So, but she can get in trouble for bringing that up. They're like, "Why are you being so angry? You're so angry." They kept telling her that. I'm like, oh my gosh. The way Lisa Rinna was telling Denise Richards. So that's a very white lady way to say it, obviously. "You're so angry." It's like, I guess, a form of gaslighting for Karens to tell a person that they're so angry when they're not like extremely angry, but you're trying to make them seem a kind of a way. Anyway, so that's my little rant about that. And anything else in this article she said? I turned the volume off. But I wonder why Bravo's investigation didn't include all the people present at the time. Doesn't it seem like, to have a proper investigation, all the people that were present should be interviewed? I wonder, was Heather not available? Why is this just coming out on November 27th? Was it for a Thanksgiving present? Is there some holiday going on where you're supposed to, vent and tell all your sins or something? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Why would she choose now to just all of a sudden say this after in October she could have said what she said to Page Six in November? You know what I mean? Like, so who is she really trying to help? Or did she tell him and Bravo didn't care? I don't know. It's hard to say. I wish they would know. And if they didn't think that was a racist statement, after somebody in production had already told on Ramona, they run and tell that on Ramona and her ways of talking. Plus, we heard Ramona call the lady the hell, and then get in her confessional and say, "I knew it was wrong, but oh well, I said I was sorry." They let her say and do anything. By the way, fire Ramona, because Andy got on that show and said, "People say fire you all the time," to our girl over on Potomac. So I want to get a fire Ramona in, because that is vile behavior. Okay? That's total uncalled for, out of left field behavior. At least when the other lady does it on the other franchise, she's doing it in response to something usually, And some might say she goes overboard, but at least it's in response to something that is like directed at her. There was nothing that Eboni did that we saw that was edited for us to see that warranted a comment like, "That's why we shouldn't have Black people on the show." So, and then Heather also, I'll just go here for them because they had that whole bolo scene for our ladies over on Atlanta, right? And they tried to make it all over there. But did you know that Heather is going around saying that, here, I'm going to make it big. Okay. Look, Thompson says co-star Sonia Morgan allowed men to put lit cigarettes in her for fun and said she was shocked when she and her husband ran into Morgan at the Boom Boom Room in 2014, saw them together, and she had been drinking, da 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 da. I was like, where's Sonia? See? And that's when it said that. See? So, anyway, that is a lot. That's a lot, you guys. That's a lot. That is a lot. So that is my take on, yes, I do feel like that is a Blackphobic, racist remark. That's a Blackphobic remark. How is it not Blackphobic and racist to say that is why we shouldn't have Black people on the show? Because Eboni was displaying calm human emotion. It's just questioning, it's baffling. And I don't want to see it anymore. So that's why I'm talking about it. And I hope somebody at Bravo takes into consideration that, oh yeah, and then Heather said that they have never had sensitivity training. And I believe that somebody said after the investigation that was going to be part of it. In my opinion, that kind of thing doesn't really work. But it can enlighten, so at least you know what it does. What it does is set a date from, right? So far they've been saying, oh, I didn't know it was wrong to say that. Oh, I was ignorant to the this. And oh, like they feign ignorance, right? So instead of getting to feign ignorance after you have sensitivity training, you can't do that anymore. Just like if you had sexual harassment training, you would be unable to, say, oh, I didn't know that's what that was when you did certain things that you could get in trouble for, right? So I think in that respect it works because it sets a clear tone of this is what we know. We all agree this is not acceptable. So that in that regard, it works, and it can deter. But I think also there should be like some of the self-accountability, like allow these ladies to if this is really how they feel, then this is really how we as viewers get to feel, So thanks for listening to me talk about whether or not Bravo has a Blackphobic enabling thing and racist tendencies enabling. And this is just one of my examples of it because, like I said at the beginning, here on Larger Curves, that Heather Thompson did say that she heard Ramona say, that's why we shouldn't have Black people on the show about Eboni. And that's not only rude, it's hurtful, it's racist. And Bravo should have done something besides reward Ramona with a trip to the Ultimate Girls Trip to disrespect Kenya as soon as she saw her. So she like nitpicks with certain people. And she does it worse, it's seeming like, with the melanated goddesses. So, but just some. I'm not saying all, obviously, because Cynthia Hill is like the Ramona whisperer, right? Anyway. Yes, stay safe, sis. Healthy, blessed, and highly favored. Amen. And you too. And with that, I just wanted to let you know that's why I was triggered and all of that. And thanks for tuning into Larger Curves. You know what? I'm going to come back and do Love and Marriage Huntsville review at 6:15 Pacific Standard Time. And we'll be able to talk about Marty Marr, talking about he needs to get 50%. I'm like, ooh, was that Bobby? Wasn't there a joke? I'll have to remember the joke before the thing. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Larger Curves today. I hope you enjoyed this. I have to go back and make some edits, so hope I can add some other stuff too. And you know what? Prosperity Thick Girl 40, thanks for hanging in there with me. And I hope you can join me in my next live. And for all the rest of you, when you catch this in the replay, leave a comment down below. We don't have to agree. Tell me why. Tell me how you feel. Did anything trigger you specifically that maybe Ebony did? I don't know. I don't want to feel all one-sided, but that's my perspective. Obviously, based on my photo, that's where I would be. That would be the perspective I would be coming from. But in my willingness to have my perception opened, leave a comment down below. Thanks for tuning in to Larger Curves, and I will see you in the next video. Oh yeah, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.